that you hang, your inner circle, most of the people that you choose to hang with do what? The same thing you do. So you're going to look at the inner circle that you have, and you're going to look at the whole representation of the United States based on that when it's not reality. You know, the reality is 70% of people in the United States make what we call low-risk choices when it comes to, alcohol, drugs. And so that's the green stage. And we talk about, how your tolerance don't increase in the green. Tolerance is where, if you use or drink often, your mind or your brain is going to remember that state. And so what's going to happen is over a little time, you're going to have more to get to that same feeling. You're not going to be able to, for instance, if you used to drink 2 or 3 to get you where you want to be, you keep doing it all the time, often more than the 0, 1, 2, 3 rule, eventually you're going to have 5. Then you're going to have 6. Then you're going to have 7. Then you're going to have it all the time. And so that's what tolerance is. It continues to build. But as long as you stay in the green, your tolerance level don't grow at all. And you have a feeling. This is how you know you're in the green. You have a take it or leave it approach when it comes to alcohol. You don't have to have it. You'll drink one if you feel like it, but you don't have to. So that's how you know that you are in the green state. State-dependent restriction, you don't have that. And state-dependent restriction is a condition to where, for example, if you played pool one day and you was really high and you played good, you felt like that was the best game you ever played. Well, your brain is going to remember that. And so eventually, you're only going to be able to play pool good when you're high. State-dependent restriction. Okay? You're not going to be able to do it when you're not high. And you see people do that all the time. They say, man, I gotta get geeked up before I can play. Because your brain actually remembers that time, and it's called state-dependent restriction. But you don't have that in the green. And I am going to give you an opportunity to ask questions when we get through talking to the yellow, and then we'll take a break after that. Okay? So, because I think we may have some questions. Muddy thinking. Muddy thinking is where first it starts out being, just minor short-term memory loss. You can't remember things short-term. Well, as you progress into the phases, it starts being long-term. So that's the muddy thinking. And also, when you talk about high executive thinking, sometimes it becomes tough doing math problems, figuring things out. Those things, as you get progress into the stages or the phases, it gets worse. And social dependency. Social dependency is where you can't be in a social group unless you have something to drink. And social dependency makes things feel normal. That's what I was talking about, because you choose to be in a group of people that do the same thing you do. And so your judgment on the whole world is going to be based on that group of people that you see, and that's not reality though. So those are the things we're going to talk about when we talk about the yellow, the orange, and the red. And so now we'll talk about the yellow phase, and I'll ask some questions after this, and we'll take a break. The yellow phase is what we call the high-risk phase, because that's when you're starting to make high-risk choices. High-risk choices are those choices that jeopardize the things that you value, like your job, your home, your car. You value those things, and high-risk choices, though, they put those things in jeopardy. So if you decide to drink, and you over that limit, it's a good chance that you're probably going to get locked up, and you're going to have to spend some money that you don't have. So that's the yellow phase begins when you start going over the 0, 1, 2, 3 rule. Okay. Yellow, it begins anticipation. You know, we start to anticipate now. Whereas in the green, you know, we were fine. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, every time we go somewhere, we anticipate making high risk choices. Okay? We anticipate doing more than the 0, 1, 2, 3 rule. And state-dependent restriction starts at this yellow phase. Okay? It starts at this yellow phase. And so, because it starts at this yellow phase, it's not going to happen as much, but you will begin to get state-dependent restriction on social things. You know, like I said, things like playing pool. You know, and I eventually graduated to where I played my first college game after I snorted cocaine. It was the best game I ever had, and so I ended up not playing a game unless I had cocaine. Okay? And that's actually how I got kicked out of school. I never told anybody that to the night. But that's actually how I got kicked out, because my coach found out that that's what I was doing before the game. But I didn't feel like I could play without it. So state-dependent restriction will start in the yellow. Muddy thinking, you know, you'll start having short-term memory loss, things like that. And social dependency, again, it makes things seem normal for you. So you're not even thinking about it because it feels like it's going to be normal. Okay? And I'm gonna take a few questions right now, and then we're gonna take a break. Anybody have any questions about the green or the yellow phase in addiction? Yes, sir.
What are some common signs that you're transitioning from green to yellow?
Okay, well, again, it's because once you start going over the 0, 1, 2, 3 rule, you know, that's your sign. You know, because that's the standard for us. We make sure that we stay under control. And you stay under control when you can consistently do 0, 1, 2, 3 rule. And now let me explain those standards too, because that doesn't mean that you know, because the glasses that they pour now are not regular glasses. So we had to even come up with an ounce, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, just face it, man, I've seen some drinks that come out with, like, it's huge. And if you drink 3 of those, yeah, or even if you're addicted, you don't need to drink 3 of those. But they're huge. So we have a standard which is 4 ounces. When you're talking about alcohol, tequila, that's what I drink now because my doctor says healthy if I want to drink something. But 4 ounces of tequila, so that means that's your 0, 1, 2, 3. Never over 3. Okay? Never over 3 most of the time. 2 if you do that. But never over 3. Okay? And it's 4 ounces. Now when you're talking about beer, it's 12 ounces. You know, so it's 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 12 ounces. Okay, so 0 is you can abstain. 1, 2, 3, you're still in a ball game. But once you go over those standards, you know, that's when you're in trouble. Now again, if you're already saying that those standards, man, that's crazy. Who can do that? Then you're already past green. You're at least in the yellow. You know, because, you know, most people can understand the 0, 1, 2, 3 rule, and if you don't, and I got a story, a real life story about that, you know, at the end of the show. Okay, so that's what that is. All right. Anybody else?
Oh, Tisha has a question. Hold on. Go ahead, cuz. He can hear you.
Hey, what's going on, cuz?